see the comments coming in, and I will not hesitate to interact with the ones that, but I'll be talking, but, doing this while I'm doing this. Um, so I'm coming on because as I was downloading one of the live streams that I did on Wednesday, what happened was I clicked I was intending to download it and post it to Instagram and TikTok and would post to Facebook. I deleted it. And I was like, no, 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 no. So I deleted that and it's gone. Can't get it back. But you know what? I'm going to make this a hopefully better live stream than that ever was. So that's what I did with another video that I got rid of, and I made a video that I think was better than the one I deleted. I deleted several other videos that were live streams, but there were just so many of those. I don't remember how many of those were, and I don't know. I can't remember what those were about. So those will just be gone, and I'll just have to deal with having those gone. I made a whole podcast about my whole thing about deleting, which I will not go into in this live stream because it's a whole thing that is more appropriate for a podcast. I do the podcast so that I'm not just ranting on a video. Like podcasts are meant to really, really go deep, where I'm not ranting. It's not like I'm just putting videos out there of my thoughts. It's like this is a container, this is a category for thoughts. This is the category. Like I do the personal stuff here, the informational stuff here. In this podcast, the stuff in that podcast, and you can choose which door you want to open. Either want to go in door A or door B. You get to choose. So that's why I do that. Why I say welcome to the Real Me podcast, so that you know what you are watching before you just watch a whole video of me just talking about my life. I will make videos where I will talk about my life. That's something that I really, really want to talk about. I cannot emphasize this enough. Living from the inside out and not the outside in. This is big. And I will probably continue to talk about this. And I want to talk about how this is showing up in my life today. Well, I had a problem here. Now this is gonna, okay. This is me being my real self. This is what is going to be happening, and that is what is going to be doing that. So when I was editing my video for the deleting things, and I actually, it's very, very difficult to edit these videos. You have to understand, I have to put the image in the video. I have to, sometimes it cuts off, and then I have to redo the whole thing over again. And I tried putting in another video entirely, and then, putting it in, and then having to cut off the rest and keep out the last part. Sometimes it takes, like most of the videos today took very, very, not a whole lot of time, but several of them, um, took, no, excuse me, one of them, one of them took a very, very long amount of time, a longer amount of time. Okay, what am I saying here? Some of the videos took a lot of time, and then others just take a lot of time to do that. Anyway, I want to get to my point. So I was doing that, and so I noticed, because I've had this with several videos, that just the thing kept going on, and I couldn't know how to, I didn't know how to cut it off. I didn't know how to cut it off. It just kept on going, and I would have to go in and edit it, and then so I think I figured out a way to probably do that, and I am not the most sure about that way, but I'm sure I'll figure it out next time I do a video. Hopefully, maybe I'll get that figured out. I don't know, but okay. I'm not going to get caught up in who is watching and the number of people who come and go and come and go. Like my following on Instagram is I'm just very, very stagnant on Instagram. Like on YouTube, I noticed it kind of growing, falling back but growing. But on Instagram, it's just in a stuck place between 130 to 133 followers, and it's not growing. On Facebook, I have barely any followers over there. Nobody sees my posts over on those two platforms. And that is very, very disappointing because I want some more engagement with my posts, with the things that I put out. So anyway, I was, having my a family member go, well, uh, help me with getting this part cut off. And one of the things that I'm sorry to do this. Sorry to do this. I'm not naming the person, but sorry. I have to be specific. Now, relax. Again, outside in, not inside out. I'm going to do it from the inside out, okay? So, my dad's very, very good with computers. Very, very good with that kind of thing. And I ask him questions for technology questions. So, he's coming and helping me with that. Started, like, I will say, this is what I will say. There's a lot of good things about my, dad that I, love and like. We haven't always had the closest relationship, but there's a lot of things that, however, being a Sagittarius South Node sometimes can be preachy, sometimes can be lecture, sometimes can be kind of telling you what it is and being up on your high horse. But that's the Sagittarius South Node. So it was saying, what are your employers going to think of all this? what are your employers going to think of all these videos and all these things that you're saying? And then I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I could see where that was going. I could immediately tell where that was going. I'm like, I just have a boundary in my mind. Like, I don't want people to go there with me. Like, don't go there. Hello. Don't go there. And then there was this assumption made about yelling in the video, stomping in the video, doing all this, which I didn't do. I was just passionate about my point that I was making. That was the truth of it, as I was passionate about what I was saying. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't offending anyone. I wasn't talking down to anyone. I wasn't criticizing anyone. It wouldn't feel right to do that in a video in the way that I do videos unless it feels right. Like I have a boundary with what feels right and what doesn't. What is right and what isn't right. So, looking away a lot from the camera. I have the tendency to do that. Okay. Look at the camera. Okay. So, okay, I'm doing this right here and now, right here. I had a little bit of a voice earlier, so I couldn't do this. I'm gonna get to my point in a second, but I just really want to emphasize this. Made the false assumption. I was like, there was another assumption, and then like just the thing about assuming all these negative assumptions. I'm just sick of it. Sick of it. So, we proceeded to maybe argue a little bit, and then made another assumption saying it's like you're not having fun in your videos, and I laughed. I was fake laughing to prove a point because it was like, no, I have fun doing my videos. I know my videos because I'm the one who knows my videos. I am the one who does my videos. So only I am the best person to know if I'm having fun or not. And if I don't like doing the videos, if I'm dreading doing the videos, if it doesn't feel right, then I won't do the videos. I mean, generally it feels right to do the vastness of Google. I want to do that on a schedule, but okay, I don't want to make this too complicated. Just the Real Me podcast videos. I do those videos whenever I want to, and those videos feel fun to do. Those videos, um, feel fun to do because I come on and do it when I want to, authentically want to. So that was a false assumption. And it's so easy with I think family's great. Family, I made a point about family with the area section of that video, how you're spending more time with your family in Jupiter directing Cancer. If you haven't seen my videos on Jupiter directing Cancer, I'd really, really encourage you to go see those videos because I go into a lot of depth in the video. Definitely watch the Jupiter and Cancer collective one as well as the other because that'll give you more of a holistic understanding of what's going on with the transit itself. That'll help you, But so family's great, but sometimes they know you so well that they can really, um, I mean, uh, it comes across as manipulation. you know, Getting into the minds and controlling others, wanting them to feel a certain way and be a certain way, getting in there and being, really, really controlling and getting into somebody's head and you're doing all that and you're just manipulating and guilting the person down because they know you so much, they know your patterns and they live with you. But personalities can be different. Like I have one family member, we get along the most, have the best relationship, the closest relationship. And I don't want to go into that here, but we do have some interactions where it's like, don't tell me what I can and cannot do. Don't tell me what kind of content I should be producing in my channel. And I don't think that an employer, which is not worth the time and effort and the joy that I put into making my videos, I didn't think that an employer would reject me if I produce what I produce. I don't think that would happen. So that is like this is something called projection. And I did this to somebody in the comments. I mentioned that on other videos. But this is something called projection, which or well, maybe it's just negative conditioning. Maybe, well, maybe it is projection. Like you're projecting your negative feelings about my videos to me in a way that's not appropriate, that it's not kind, and that I naturally become defensive towards, and I perceive as being defensive. I naturally become defensive towards because that's how I feel that's natural to react. I become defensive when somebody is criticizing me in a way that is lecture, is preach, is, preaching me. Like, I'm open to, like, if you're gonna say that, make compassionate criticism. Criticism delivered by compassion. Now, I may not act on that criticism, or then I may not, okay, I may not act on it, but at least I'm not going to be so argumentative and defensive. I'm just going to simply be honest and say, no, I will do my videos and communicate in an honest, clear way, and then we have a conversation rather than an argument. When it comes to that not being so argumentative and defensive as the other person starts it and starts you know getting on me about what an employer is going to think, that is making me feel bad about myself from the outside and not me watching a video and go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that. That's from the inside, and that's self-awareness that comes from inside. Like you watch yourself on a video and you think, oh, I shouldn't do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Um, Sometimes, it's okay when we have the external validation, um, when it comes to the things that we already kind of know are wrong inside of us, and then that person validates that, and like we know inside of us this is wrong, and we do it. Like that's one thing. But if we are completely sure of ourselves, sure of ourselves with what we want to do, and we're so feeling good about ourselves, and we know that we're going in the right direction, and then somebody else comes in and starts, talking to us about how it's a bad idea, and in a way that is preachy, then I mean, what am I going to say to this? I've lost my train of thought. Um, then that is okay. Then that is not right. That is, negative criticism, and we should draw a boundary. And I drew a boundary. I said, no, you know what? I'm going to produce whatever I want to produce. I'm going to do whatever I feel is right to do inside me, and I'm going to completely, not consider what you were saying about what is the employer going to think of you. Like, I have to come on and talk about this. I don't want to make a whole podcast episode about this. So this is my opinion of this, and this is my message to the world. This is kind of my message to the world. And the other message is what I'm going to be getting to right now. So that is a reminder to live from the inside out, not the outside in. To know who you are, and to really not let anyone dictate your actions when you know what is right for you. Unless they are validating something that you know yourself isn't right, that they are reflecting that back to you, and acting as a helper to you, and knowing what's right for you in that way. But if it's like you're so sure of yourself, and then they come in and then they start lecturing you and preaching to you about what's right and what's wrong, then that's where you say, no, full stop. I'm going to live from the inside out. You're not going to influence what I say or do in my videos in this case. Okay. Now, why am I even coming on this live stream in the first place? Well, I told you the reason at the beginning. I have a whole podcast episode about the voices that I get in my head every couple of days, and you can go check that out on my Real Me podcast because I go in depth about that if you're interested. But I'll just tell you that I get this voice that utters curse words very, very loudly, very repetitive, in a rhythm and a cadence. Uses words like, I'm not going to name the words, but it uses, because I just do not feel comfortable naming the word. It does not feel natural to me, and I would look back and go, well, I regret this. I don't feel comfortable watching myself doing it. But curse words, that others curse words. And I want to be open about this because I am not going to keep this thing a secret any longer. This is a problem in my life. Because whenever I get it, it's not like a voice in your head that, just stays and you can just ignore and go about your day. It's not like that. I wish it were. But it's actually where you can't think clearly. Like, I got the voice earlier today, but I could, manage. But that Wednesday that I got it, I couldn't think clearly. I could barely deliver a video. Like, I have to go in bed and lay down and totally shut out the world and shut my life out and stop my life because this voice comes in. It's like you can't, do anything properly or manage your life when a dust storm in the Dust Bowl is coming in and consuming your home, like in the Dust Bowl. How, like, this is a dust storm. I have a song about the dust storm. I made a better quality version of it because I want it to be better. I explain it in an artistic song, and I'm very, very proud of that song. And and I want to continue producing songs because I'm very, very creative now. I write them out now instead of just making them up on the spot, which I felt guilty about, and I did for the longest time. And I, was like, we need to change this. So, I got this voice. It's curse words. It's very, very, very intense when I get it. You can't just roll it away. Like, I can walk. I can listen to music. I can listen to a video. I can do a video. I can write. It won't go away. Nothing that I do physically or say or whatever will go away. It just like you can't control a dust storm. You can't just force the dust storm to just go away. It comes and it's an uncontrollable force. That's what it is. Like a storm, like like the weather, like not just only a dust storm, but the weather. You can't just force the thunder out of your way, but you can manage as best you can. Like like you can't say the thunder, make the thunder go away. The thunder is going to come because it's the weather and you can't control it. I can't control this voice in my head. It is messing with my life. It ruins my life. And it has been happening less often, but it still comes in and it's still very intense. And it's always when I go to work. I mean, it has been for the past couple of times. It's when I go to work that I notice it. I don't know what it is about that place, but I'm sick and tired of getting it when I go to work. I'm sick and tired of getting it being so intense, especially at work. So I told the job coach about it. We had a conversation, and she was like, you can't control others and what others do. Well, nice message. I'd like to think that I would, and other people need to be careful around what they're saying because it's not just an internal voice. It has to do with the outside as well. When people say things, it triggers anxiety. Do you need to go to the restroom? Hey, Everett, how you doing? How you doing today, Everett? Will you do it tomorrow? Like these phrases trigger anxiety. They trigger anxiety. There's just something about the cadence of the voice and how these line up that trigger anxiety. So I got this voice very, very intensely. As soon as I got there, I noticed the voice very, very strong. And the truck, which was supposed to come, did not come that day and didn't come till the next morning, which was supposed to um, put the candy out so that I could, put it away in the shelves. Didn't come. I'm so disappointed. I didn't, as hard as it was, I want my 2 hours in. And whenever I don't get my 2 hours in a week, I get very, very, like, I don't like that. And so the truck didn't come, so I went home early. Like, I was glad that I went home early, but in the long run, I look back and think, oh, I wish that the truck came, and I just wish I would have bared it, held it, stuck it out, and stayed there, and did the candy. And so as I said, the job coach was there. I spoke up and told her about it. And just whenever I get it, I can't be present. Like I was not present at that time. I try to talk about it. Like I try to do all of these things, but it's just still there, and it just stays, and it won't go away. So it happened that day, and it didn't go away. So then, she kind of told my, mom about the voice that she talked to me about it. And then I went home and then I did a video, and it was very, very intense. I couldn't focus on the video, barely do it. And you know what? It's not worth it to me. Not worth it. I will not sacrifice my peace of being for a video. When I get this voice and it's so intense and I can't think clearly, I will not do the video because I won't enjoy it. I won't be present with it. I won't be focused. And if you watch my videos now, you'll find how fun I have when I do it. Like it's a joy to make videos now. It feels so much fun to do it because of all the ideas that are sparked, of all the things I can get into, of all the references I can reference, of like all the things that I say, and it's just so fun to present the information. And I'm honestly just so impressed at myself with how well I'm speaking about it. Like, wow, I'm like an amateur now or an expert at this when it comes to YouTube videos. Not like I'm an astrologer, but just going back to what I was saying, just can't be present with it. So I'm just not going to sacrifice videos for my state of being when I get this voice. I'm not going to do it and then I'll make it up by doing it the next day when I can focus and when I can be better. Like, it's not worth me doing it and barely doing it, not doing it the right way. Because I can't deliver my points that clearly. My speech, my speech changes. I don't make sense with my speech. I found that in the live stream that I did, that when the ones that were available that I didn't delete, um, that I um, that I did where um, like my speech becomes not clear because I can't think clearly. So anyway, I did the live stream because I wanted to paint a real picture of what was going on um, with my life, and it was kind of weird, and it was like, what am I watching, and what's this person doing? But I was really, uncomfortable with that voice, and I wanted to show you, let it out to you, and make you aware of it. So, my progressive moon's in Leo. I want to shine to be my authentic self, but I'm not going to give in to the side of Leo that is so conscious of what the other thinks. Should I mention? I want to go back and mention something about my dad that I mentioned, didn't forget to mention. Leo Sun, Leo Mercury. You know, it is okay. It is good to be concerned about what others think in a way that doesn't limit who you are, expressing yourself, doing what your soul wants to do. Okay. Um, I think I'm going to look at the South Node and say, well, this is a quality that's kind of a shadow that, um, you know, comes out at times, and that's what it is. And when I get to the nodes, I'll do a whole series on the South Node, and the signs. I'll do South Node and Sag North Node and Gemini. I'm going to do the North Node and Taurus video early because I want to do that, because it's my own placement. I want to give it the full justice that it deserves, that I didn't feel like I gave it, the respect and attention that it deserves, that I didn't feel like I gave it in my video that I made 2023 on my original channel, which I will do that video again um, on this channel as a podcast. Like, I find that I want to do podcasts. I was so free. So yeah, I just really, really enjoyed doing the podcast more than anything else. So there'll probably be more of those, and I want to update my podcast with as many episodes as possible. So there will be more of the audio episodes that you can just listen to. Just know that. Um, and then I want to go through all my personal placements. My Lilith and Gemini. I'll maybe do. I don't know if I'll do my moon but I kind of already talked about it. But I'll do my Saturn in Cancer, Uranus in Pisces, Neptune in Aquarius. All the ones I didn't do. Maybe my Sirius in Cancer, because I have Sirius in Cancer, which is like so perfect because Sirius is nurturing, and I don't know much about Sirius, but Cancer is very, very popular placement. Those asteroids I don't know much about. I'm so fascinated, so interested to learn more. I'm not very knowledgeable on the asteroids Ceres, Vesta, Juno, Pallas, Athena, Hygeia, those things. So those videos will be coming out, as well as the general videos. I'm almost done with Jupiter through the signs, and then I'll start Saturn, which I will do the planet Saturn, which I've already done a video about that back in 2023, but I will do a video about that again with less information in it, and just with more knowledge and more insight to gain with the planet Saturn. And then I'll do the Saturn through the signs again, in podcast form. I don't want to look back and go, oh, you should have done this in video form now, and then, like, I'm not going to go back and redo those other videos because that's what I did at the time. That's what I wanted to do at the time, and I put all the time and effort into it. I'm not deleting those and redoing it. So I'm going to do that. And I implore you to watch the horoscopes for 12 signs. And I implore you to share these videos with more individuals who are interested in astrology. Because I am telling you, I want to shout this from the rooftops, that the way that astrologers do their um thing on YouTube with the 12 sign readings and the monthly horoscopes, whatever, it's meaningless, superficial. There's no insight. I don't learn anything about the sign itself. There's nothing to think about. How can I evolve from this transit? How can I gain from this transit? Like, why aren't astrologers doing this? Why am I the only one to do this? Why aren't there more doing this? Like, why is it so meaningless? Like, okay, that kind of thing. Excuse me. That kind of thing when it comes to, um, you know, looking at where things fall in the houses, planetary aspects. That is for an astrological consultation. That is not for YouTube. Because, excuse me, I have stuff in my throat. Because, you know, I'm not going to be concerned with that life area. Say, you know, like if somebody gives me a reading saying, well, in career, you're going to be this, and you're going to find a lot of benefit in career, and you're going to be able to put some structure in career. Like, the meaningless, meaningless, because I'm not working in my career. Like, I don't have a career yet. So whenever astrology does that, I'm like, that does not resonate with me at all, and that doesn't tell me anything. And another thing is that it's predictive. It tells you just meaningless. Like, what can I consider? How can I evolve from this? Like all these things. Like what do I need to know about this? Like how we ask oracle cards. It's not that you have to do it. It's just for your consideration, like meaningful consideration. And like we go to oracle cards not for them to tell us this is what you should do, but for to go to them for insight as to what do I need to know and what is the best way to approach this that you may or may not have to do. It's kind of like I'm giving oracle readings through astrology, except not feeling the guilt of using oracle cards. I don't have to remember information. I just kind of come up with it, and it's entirely my own thing. It's entirely my own creation. When I do it, and it's completely my own. And so I'm very, very proud of it for that. And I want to continue doing those videos and I want them to become incredibly popular, if not more popular than all this other house videos. Like, why are these videos that have, um, you know, about the houses in astrology, so popular? And yet my videos, okay, I've only just started out. But over time, if I don't see the views growing on those, I will start to wonder, like, what should I do? Because I want more people to get exposed to this form of astrology, not the superficial, meaningless stuff that you get. And like astrologers put so much meaning into their general forecasts, but they put zero meaning into the houses. It doesn't make any sense. Like they give all this astrological wisdom and insight through what they're saying. And then when they get to the houses, it's like, doesn't match up. Doesn't match up. So I want to correct the problem. I have a song about that, about um, horoscopes, they're all Trump signs that I made very, very clear. I want to correct this. I want to do it in the way that I think should be done by all astrologers. I'm doing it my own way. I'm explaining it my own way, but astrologers should focus on how can this sign benefit from this placement? How can they grow from this transit based off of the qualities of that sign? Like, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious that they should do this and they're not doing it? It seems like the most obvious thing to do. It's clear as crystal and you're not doing it. You are holding in precious gems of your astrological knowledge and information, and not giving it for the signs, yet you do it for the collective. What's that about? So I'm like, gosh, now I realize why I don't resonate with those forecasts. They are meaningless. And you may think, well, I find them meaningful. Well, be specific. What was going on in your life that made them meaningful? Don't just say they were meaningful to me, because they're not always going to be meaningful. Like, it's okay. They're not supposed to not everything that I say in my videos is going to resonate with everybody, because it's impossible. I'm going to say some stuff and you're like, that doesn't resonate with me, and I realize that. But at least it's not just shallow information. At least it's deep information. And that's what I want to provide in the 12 sign readings. So, um, really, really consider when I put those videos out, giving those videos a chance. You might want to see the whole video and hear what I have to say about all the signs, because I put a lot of insight and I go really, really deep with the signs, yet they're not too long. I think they're just the right length of time. And yeah, that's what I do with that. Um, and I have to thank somebody else for giving me the idea with her videos of talking about the North Node placements and how they can benefit from this North Node transit, looking at them themselves and looking at how can they grow how can they follow their own North Node through this transit of the North Node through this sign, even if it's not their own sign. And I think that was such a great idea. I took that and I implemented it in my own thing, yet for the sun, moon, and rising signs. And yet I explain the qualities of the signs while I'm doing it, because that feels the most natural to me. And I'm not, talking, on and on and on and making whole separate videos about it. It's in one video. It's 40, 50 minutes long, pretty standard if you're going through all the 12 signs of the zodiac. I think it's fairly reasonable that should be the length of the video for that, if you're looking at all 12 signs and if you're diving deep. That's not too long. Another thing is I just posted the Jupiter and Scorpio video just today, and I went really, really deep with that. Like, I go into what this placement is really about, because I felt like so superficial. I need to give it the deep dive. So I go into a lot of details in that video that I think that you will really, really be interested in and really find educational, informative, and interesting. You may want to watch or listen to. And sometime I will put the podcast on Spotify. Like, I have a vision to put my vastness of Google, more than just astrology podcast, on Spotify. Like, I want that not the other one, because that's not appropriate for Spotify, but this one, the vastness of Google, is appropriate. Is very, very appropriate for Spotify. So sometime I will. I mean, I have to see what I can do with that. Like, seriously, I have to look into that. It's kind of on my list to do, because I don't think that you're too young. Like, if you're young enough to make YouTube videos like I am, then you're not too young to, um, you know, put things on Spotify. I mean, I don't think. I have to look into that. Um, but that's my plan, is to put this Vastness of Google podcast on Spotify. Because in my opinion, it kind of deserves to be on Spotify. So I don't know about Apple Podcasts. I'm not familiar. I don't go on there, but I kind of want it to be up there with all the other astrology podcasts, because I do put so much into these videos and so much time and energy into producing them, and I put my blood, sweat, and tears while having fun doing it, and I want the messages to get out to as many as possible, because of what I feel that I put into these videos. So that's all that I want to say about that. I have nothing else that I want to say. Anyway, bye for now.